through for his first win yesterday, so that takes the pressure off a little bit. But because it's a reverse grid race, he'll start back in 10th, and it's his new teammate Kiddo Smal with all the pressure from the front.
那么在昨天的比赛当中呢，因为有沙尘暴，所以其实能见度是非常低的。不过到了今天呢，天气已经放晴了，但是气温依然非常的寒冷，所以这些不确定的因素都会影响到比赛。同时呢 ，Kimi 呢是拿到了本赛季的首胜。那么不过呢，今天因为是倒序发车的原因，他从第10位起步。那么他会有怎么样的表现呢？在今天的比赛开始之前，先让我们回顾一下昨天比赛的精彩集锦。
Well, it was quite hard to make out any highlights from yesterday's foggy race, but let's look back over how Antonelli got his win. It couldn't have been a tougher situation for the drivers with the sun going down and already blocked by clouds, fog and mist. Somehow we got a race going and it was a fabulous run. The Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP Motorsport trio had the race in their hands. Unfortunately, they hit self-destruct as first Dirksen and Megatuniv ended up tagging each other. Dirksen spinning around, Megatuniv dropping down the order. There were problems further round as Dan Mavlyutov ended up spinning for High-Tech. But as the race continued, Taylor Barnard was the man charging his way through, making a real bid to go for the podium. First Megatuniv and then Flusha. But the man on the move was Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He sized up Marty Boyer and went for a bold overtake around the outside. He didn't even need to wait to the braking zone. He'd already got him. A fabulous run for the Mercedes Junior in front of the Spanish charge. Safety car came out for Ayato Iwasaki, and then Boyer tried again, doing everything possible to get past Kimi Antonelli. The Italian really had to work for it. Marty Boyer actually taking back the lead for a few meters, but the Italian stallion was never going to be denied. There was a great charge through too from Rafael Camara. He worked his way up to second place, the Brazilian scoring high. But Antonelli finally getting his first win of the season as the championship leader extends his advantage up front. Will this be the first of many? And more importantly, how can he hold on to the lead? There wasn't really a dry eye in the house yesterday, but what a fantastic battle it was for Andrea Kimi Antonelli to come through and win his first Formula Regional race. Quite baffling considering that at race 7 he had led the championship pretty much since Dubai. It had been fantastic to see how he has progressed over the course of the year, and we are very excited to see what he's getting on. But it's his teammate Kiddo Smal from the front of the grid with Feline.
So Kiro, pole position in your second ever race in this car. How much pressure are you having now at the front?
I mean, yeah, it's always a little bit of a pressure, but I feel pretty confident from where I am now. It's a nice view from the pole here, so I just hope I'm going to stay here until the end of the race, and we see how it goes.
Okay. Good luck with the race. Yeah. 那刚刚我问到 Kiro 呢，因为咱们是倒序发车，所以他是在上一场拿到第10，现在从头位发车。他说到，哎，这个在这个位置呢，风景是非常好的，他也能希望呢能一直保持领先的位置，一直到结束。Back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. Good to hear from Kiddo Smal, who's clearly feeling a little bit of the pressure from pole position. Not an easy situation to be in when it's your second ever race in this car. How new is he to Formula Regional? Well, back in Dubai a couple of weeks ago, he was in an F4 car. That shows you how up to speed Kiddo Smal is having to get at the sharp end of the field. And alongside him is the man who should have won race 2 a few days ago, Joshua Dufek. He certainly won it on the road and drove phenomenally to make it happen. But a technical infringement ended up excluding him from the race after the checkered flag had fallen. And Josh Dufek now knows he can win. So now he's got to go out there and do it again. And from second on the grid, he's got a great chance of doing it. There is the championship leader and the newest winner in Formula Regional Middle East, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. But he starts 10th today alongside his teammate Rafael Camara. Why? Because the finishing results of race 1 set the grid for race 2 with the top 10 positions reversed. So Antonelli goes off P10 for this one. But the pressure is off to a certain extent. He has a very strong lead in the championship fight, so he doesn't really have to panic too much about this one. Aidan Neat, though, this is a golden opportunity. Third on the starting grid, and he really could make this happen. So the British driver hoping to make these GT tyres work for the entirety of the race. How tough is it to handle these tyres over the course of a weekend? Let's find out.
for this series, there are many very best excellent drivers from all the world. Also, this is the first time we come here. The temperature here is really cold, especially in the morning. So it's really very challenging for the tires. But according to the feedback from last race week, the tires performed quite well, combined with the team's professional alignment and the driver's professional skills.
And then once the temp is there, you really need to respect the tire. Like if you respect the tire and the balance is in a really good place, it's really easy to go really quick. And you can see that some drivers during the race. At the end of the race, there'll be quite big gaps just because the car is more set up to the driving style and they're able to manage the tires better. And I think here is going to be key for the races.
Not too bad so far. I mean, I adapted pretty well. They're not massively different to what we've been on before. They're just a little bit harder. But I mean, that's to deal with these temperatures out here. Though today it's not been very warm. I've had my coat on all day. So we come out here for the warmth, with the warm tyres. But yeah, it's not quite been that way so far. But no, they're quite fine really. The driving style is the same, so you don't have to change too much.
For sure, they're different. The compound, the structure, everything. But I mean, I think at the end, the driver, it's part of us now to adapt to the tire and really just get the maximum performance out of what you have. So I mean, at the end, you just need to see a bit the tires, what the potential are. And I mean, at the end, once you get used to them, they're good. I mean, they're good tires. Not too much deck, which makes racing good. You know, you can push every lap, which is quite nice. So yeah, at the end, when you get used to them, they're just tires. And at the end, you need to push as much as you can, and yeah, they're nice.
I think these tires, they have a good lasting of degradation. They don't degrade too fast, and they have a good peak performance. So quite well. They are quite hard compound, but doesn't affect on making the best time as soon as the driver goes on the track.
I expected a bit more of degradation on this track because there is actually a lot of long corners and like 4 corners in a row like T12. But at the end, I think the tarmac is really fresh and really good. So at the end, the degradation is not so bad. You still have to manage and you feel a difference. But on my side, it was not too bad. And yeah, for the moment, I'm happy with that.
Big thanks to Mark Jumin of the GT Tyres company based out in Singapore. And a massive thank you as well to our contributors there, Sebastian Montoya, Lorenzo Flusha, Aidan Neat, and also to Han Chen Yu, and our final man in that particular interview, Sami Megatunif. Let's look at this fabulous Kuwait Motor Town circuit just as the cars are getting ready to head out on their formation lap. 20 corners, 5.6 kilometers. It is the longest race circuit in the Middle East, but it's also one of the fastest. Once you get out of that final turn, you're on the throttle all the way to turn 2. So you eat up the road as turn 1 to 2 goes parallel with the drag racing strip, which is a very popular sport out here in Kuwait. But this facility really can do everything. It can do rallycross, it can do motocross, it can do drifting, it can do slalom, it can do circuit racing for any discipline you want. You can even do karting. I actually took a couple of very impromptu, very exciting laps on the karting circuit last night. Massive thank you to the Kuwait Karting Club for letting me go out in one of their incredibly quick machines. And so this place really does have motorsport games written all over it. Here we go, folks. The formation lap is underway. And here's the starting grid for the second race of 3. Kirill Smal is in pole position alongside Joshua Dufet. Can he get the win this time and keep it? Aidan Neat and Nikita Bedrin beside each other on the second row of the grid. Rafael Villagomez lines up 5th beside the Spaniard Lorenzo Flusha. Then it is Taylor Barnard in 7th position in the number 5 alongside Mari Boya. Then it's Rafael Camara and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the cast of Falcons, on the 5th row. Susanna Bolin-Vavazak alongside Sebastian Montoya, 2 drivers who can really make a play today. Martinius Stenshorn, the new boy, alongside his teammate Levente Revesh. Luke Browning, 15th position. Brad Benavides alongside him on row 8. Then Giovanni Mascio and Michael Shin, the R&B and Prema drivers. Row 10 of the grid sees Nikhil Bora way down the field. Niels Kuhlen alongside him, the Dutchman. Han Chen Yu for R&B Racing alongside Dan Mavliutov in the high-tech. And then we have Matthias Zagazeta and Wang Zhongwei rounding out the 12th row of the grid, with Sami Megatuniv and Josh Dirksen, the men who clashed into each other at the start of yesterday's race, and Ayato Iwasaki, the man who brought out the safety car. 27 drivers. Those may have noticed that there are a few changes. Dino Beganovic is out, Kirill Smal is in, as Dino Beganovic returns to Europe to prepare for his upcoming summer campaign. Gabriele Mini is not here either. He elected to sit out of the second race weekend at Kuwait, although of course it is midweek rather than a weekend. But Gabriele Mini has returned back to Europe to prepare for his upcoming summer campaign. And that means that nobody is in the car for this weekend, although we do know the identity of the driver who'll be sat in the car during Dubai and Yas Marina. Alex Dunn, the F4 prodigy, will get his first bid in a Formula Regional car at rounds 4 and 5. It was announced earlier this week. Very exciting. In terms of announcements, we knew that Nikita Bedrin is going to be in F3 this year, and now we know that Taylor Barnard is too, fighting for the Formula Regional Middle East Championship, and he'll be on the F3 grid later this year. What an amazing set of announcements. It's going to be like that all winter. You'll find out where your superstars from Formula Regional Middle East will move on to, but they really want to put on a good show here. And here at Kuwait Motor Town, these young superstars are writing the first chapters of their incredible story in world motorsport. So the contenders coming to the grid. Kirill Smal, in only his second ever race in this car and in this category, gets a pole position start. This is not going to be easy for Kirill Smal in terms of his pressure cooker. It will be tricky, it will be tough. So now the contenders are ready to go to battle once more. How is this going to play out? How is this going to fare? Ayato Iwasaki hoping to make the finish of the race this time. We barely saw him break down. We were in the midst of a big P-Super on the grid. Thick fog and thick mist. Not today. Bright and sunny skies, as we have come to hope and expect from this circuit. So this is going to be a very exciting charge down to the first corner, as the Blackbirds take up their position on the back of the grid, along with Ayato Iwasaki. Race 2, round 3, Formula Regional Middle East Championship 2023 at Kuwait Motor Town. The green flag flies at the back of the field, and we are ready to race for the second time in round 3 in 2023. Let's do it! A great start from Joshua Dufek, but Kirill Smal holds it. Aidan Neater's got a better start. He's into second position, just a nose in front of Joshua Dufek. If Aidan Neat can get on the tail of Kirill Smal and make a bid into turn 2, he's already level with him, side by side. Josh Dufek has got one on the far side of him. It's going to be 5 wide. Please don't hit each other the way we did in race 1 last week. And they are nudging. Neat's gone around, and he's been hit once, twice. Oh, it's carnage and chaos. Once you go 5 wide into the braking zone for turn 2, it's a recipe for disaster. And it looks like one of the Mumbai Falcons has got big damage. That car's going no further. Well, let's see how it's going to play out. But let's have a look at the replay again. Now watch Neat in the middle. Neat is trying to come across on Kirill Smal. He turns in, and he actually gets a nudge from behind him. That's what pitches him into the spin. And there's several cars that can't avoid him in time. Now, I couldn't tell who it was that hit him. Was that Antonelli or was that Kamara? I couldn't quite tell which one it was. There's the initial contact. Neat spins. Everybody else is just trying to cut it through. But I didn't see which of the Mumbai Falcons it is that's in damage. It's Kamara. It's Rafael Kamara. And there is one of the PHM cars out. That is Nikita Bedrin. So Bedrin is out, so too is Kamara, and we're under safety car, I do believe. Yes, indeed we are. Well, that is not exactly a massive surprise when you've got 5 cars going down into one bit of road. Everyone was so determined on the opening lap. Unfortunately, hunger got the better of common sense on that one. So your race leader is still Kirill Smal. But it's Taylor Barnard who's now in second. He wants another win. Josh Dufek is at third. Villa Gomez is fourth from Boya, Flusha, Indra Fuvazak, Montoya and Antonelli. Antonelli had to take avoiding action. He very nearly got caught up in the contact between Neat and Kamara. But Aidan Neat is out. Bedrin is out. Kamara is out. Mavlyutov appears to be out as well. Aidan Neat is in, the Bedrin is out. Kamara is out. Mavlyutov appears to be out as well. Aidan Neat is in the pits. And you've got to feel for the British driver. He had a real chance to go for the win in this one. But I think there was just the slightest touch to pitch him around. So Aidan Neat will be bitterly frustrated. I could have won this one. He will know it. And I think he had a great chance to. If he had just got a little bit wider around the corner than Kiddo Smal, I think he would have taken the lead here. Bitterly frustrated Aidan Neat now needs to make up for lost time. But that's very unlucky indeed for the British driver. Could easily have led out of turn 2. Now he's dead last. The racing gods giveth and the racing gods taketh away. His best chance to win, washed in smoke. And there is Bedrin's car, stationary and battered and bruised on the inside of turn 2. Lots of debris to clear up. Marshals and officials are doing their best to get this going again. And there is a very damaged Rafael Kamara. How on earth did he get that back to the pits? That's baffling how Rafael Kamara has got the same genes as Gilles Villeneuve, clearly. Well, Rafael Kamara, just explaining, I couldn't do anything about it. There was nowhere to go. He just slewed into my right front. No points, no podiums for Kamara in race 2. What a shame for the Brazilian. Now, Kiddo Smal is leading from Taylor Barnard and Joshua Dufek, then Rafael Villagomez, then Marty Boyer, Flusha, Indra Montoya, Antonelli and Benavides. Those are the point scorers at the moment. Then it is Martinius Stenshorn in 11th place, so the Norwegian new boy might actually get a point or two here. Michael Shin, Giovanni Mascio, yesterday's birthday boy Luke Browning in 14th, and then Leventa Revej in front of Nikol Bora, who's already made up about 5 places. Dan Mavlyutov has got going again in 17th place. Then Zagajeta in front of Iwasaki and Megatunith. Then Kulin, Dirksen, Wang, Hahn and Aidan Neat. I do believe Aidan Neat has now caught up to the 2 R&B cars at the back of the field. So he will be able to at least charge his way forward, but any chance of the win in this second race of the week is well and truly gone. Incident at turn 2 under investigation. No, you don't say. 5 cars into one bit of racetrack is never ever going to work. And unfortunately, everybody wanted it. Just a little bit too much. But fair play to Kiddo Smal, who in the middle of it all just stayed out of trouble. So down the corkscrew. And a fascinating restart coming up. And it's going to take a little bit of time because the Bobcat is still there at turn 2, recovering Bedrin's car. So I would say probably this lap and the next one are going to be behind the safety car. There is a bitterly frustrated Rafael Kamara. Yeah, he's not talking to anybody. So, bit of frustration from the Brazilian from Prema. Second position in yesterday's race, finally getting the podium he deserved. But I'm afraid today, it's back to business as usual. Bad luck. If you snapped that car in half, it'd probably be written through the car like Blackpool Rock. Kiddo Smal leading the way under safety car, though, from Taylor Barnard and Josh Dufek, and they're back in the pack up. Are we going racing? We are. Safety car in at the end of this lap, not the next one. The safety car lights went out. Wow. That was a bit of a surprise. So now Kiddo Smal has got to do a restart in Formula Regional from the front. Talk about pressure. And Taylor Barnard, the man in second in the point standings, is right behind him. And where's Antonelli? Down in 9th. Advantage Barnard. Go get him. So Taylor Barnard chasing after Kiddo Smal. Smal has already gone for the throttle. And he's timed it only just right because the safety car's coming in at the final bend now. And there goes Smal over the top of the crest. That was tight, but he's made it work. So they will come through. And we will get a restart. Oh, we've got cars running wide. That's not gone well at all for Boyer. And on the exit, Flusha nearly hits him. But we are green at Kuwait Motor Town. And Barnard's going for the lead already. Barnard takes the lead. Flusha and Boyer duel for position. They were being very friendly in the paddock yesterday. Not so today. Montoya's making the bid on Nithra Vuvuzak. Barnard's got, that's 3 wide. Barnard, Dufek and Smal. Dufek's going to try and get past both of them. And he's through. Joshua Dufek. The Swiss gets into the lead. Joshua Dufek leads. Barnard down to 3rd. As Smal fights him off once again. But Joshua Dufek is back in winning mode. He won on the road on Saturday morning. And now he wants to win it properly. Don't you dare take this one away from me. How about this then? Joshua Dufek, that's perfectly legal. He's got 2 on the road, so that won't incur track limits at all. What a move. Joshua Dufek slicing his way past both men into the lead. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Villagomez is now right in the hunt here as well in 4th position. 5th place is Boyer, 6th is Flusha, 7th is Vuvuzak, 8th is Montoya, and 9th is Antonelli. Oh, there's bodywork coming off Flusha's car, and it parts company. Flusha's lost a big bit of bodywork there. Was that a front wing, or was that from the top? That was from the top of his nose cone. Now that's a big problem, because Flusha may well get the meatball flag here, as it's affectionately known. That's the technical infringement flag. Let's have a look again. Look at the front of the car. Whoosh. That's the top of the nose cone, parting company with Lorenzo Flusha's car. Now, that could incur a technical flag. They're going to be so careful through that final corner. Everybody's getting it wrong. Montoya is going to lose out to Antonelli here. And further back, that's going to be a move from Stenshorn on Michael Shin. Antonelli sweeps up the inside of Montoya. Does he? Montoya's going round the outside. No, you don't. Sebastian Montoya fighting fit. Now Barnard swept through past Kirill Smal for 2nd. So Barnard in a 2nd position. Look back. Antonelli still dueling with Montoya. Antonelli's going to commit to the braking zone. And he's through. But on the exit, Montoya's going to try and get back. No, you don't, says Kimi Antonelli. I'm through. And look, Flusha's got a massive section of nose cone missing from the car. Now, is that going to warrant a technical flag or isn't it? I'm not sure. If he can carry on and it's not illegal, then he can just carry on, I guess. Oh, mistake from Dufek! Dufek drifts wide in the lead. That's going to upset his rhythm big time. And here comes Taylor Barnard, whoosh, into the lead. Now Barnard goes wide. Goodness me, everybody's making mistakes today. Smell around the outside of Dufek, thank you very much. 2nd place. What a race. Debris at turn 14, you can still see it there. Flusha's nose section is on the cut. Whoa, Kirill Smal misses the racetrack altogether as he hops over the 5th apex. Now Villagomez is trying to chase down. Now here's what happened. Dufek, he just gets wide and the back end steps out. He is lucky to catch that, to be fair. But Barnard's got so much momentum through the chicane. Dives through, no worries. Taylor Barnard leads. But he went off the road as well. It's properly dusty out there today. Barnard's going wide. They're all going wide. It is really, really windy today. And that's blowing sand all over the road. Look at it. Nobody can get the cars turned in. This is an absolutely crazy race. Well, all bets are off now. Neat is already up to 19th, having just got past Josh Dirksen. So he's clearly got a fast car underneath him. As Boyer is now through past Villagomez. So Boyer's through to 4th position. He gets by Villagomez. Flusha is still in P6, despite the fact he's got a missing section of nose cone. Vuvuzak is battling with Antonelli. I think Antonelli's got through. Yes, he has. So Antonelli's up to 7th. And Barnard is leading. So Antonelli really needs to charge his way through the pack. He's got his teammate Flusha to deal with as Montoya tries to hold on in front of Nikhil Bora. Welcome back to the big show, Nikhil. He is charging his way back. Nikhil Bora right in there behind Sebastian Montoya. Let's not forget that Nikhil Bora is a race winner this year. He won race 2 in Dubai. So he deserves to be at the front, and he's pushing for it. He came into this weekend effectively third in the championship after Dino Beganovic, who was actually second in the points, disappeared to return back to Europe. So Nikhil Bora, ever consistent in the first 2 weekends. Now here this midweek, he's got a chance to get back into the points. 11th place is Benavides, 12th is Shin, then Stenshorn. Car 5, track limits at turn 11. First warning, that is Taylor Barnard taking the lead and then running off the road. So a really exciting run. Through to the final bend comes Marty Boyer. Still in front of Tazin Vuvazak, who has now got past Flusha, but he drifts wide on the exit. That last corner has got a lot of sand on it, clearly. The wind is very strong on the home straight, so it's clearly blowing sand onto the racetrack. And we're getting an absolute barnstormer of a race. Here's Bora on the back of Montoya. Benavides going with them. Side by side. Now that's Antonelli, I do believe. No, it isn't. That's Flusha. That's Flusha going wheel to wheel with Villagomez. And he's through, is he? Villagomez is going to try and hold this round the outside. Well done. Rafael Villagomez, the Mexican, hangs on. Very good defence. And now Indra Vuvazak trying to hang on in front of Antonelli. Antonelli forcing the issue. Antonelli and Indra Vuvazak duelling again. And is Antonelli through? No, he's not. A headache now for Kimi Antonelli. Rather feathery friend watching the action there from the side. But look at Barnard drifting away from the pack. Small in second, Dufek in third. This is going to be satisfying for Barnard. He's already got a win. It was handed to him post-race. He finished second behind his teammate Dufek, so he has a win to his name, but he really wanted to win one under his own steam. So this is a really interesting situation. So now, the competition continuing on his way. Still the battle's raging. Barnard, Smal, Dufek, Boyer, Villagomez, and Lorenzo Flusha. 6th position in front of Antonelli and Indra Vuvazak. Montoya and Bora, those are the point scorers so far. Then Benavides, Stenshorn, Shin, Machio, Megatunith, Revej, and then Browning. Still drifting wide in the final bend. Every lap that corner changes because of those gusts of wind pulling more sand onto the racetrack. It makes the grip questionable every time you come through. Now Flusha's got a run on Villagomez. He has a chance here. Taylor Barnard is just disappearing up front. Here comes Flusha again. Flusha trying to get through past Boyer and Villagomez. And Boyer drops to the back of the queue. Villagomez in 4th now. Flusha around the outside. He's forced off the road. Tries to get back on. Villagomez is still there. So Flusha drops back into P5. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly legal. So Flusha recovers in 5th. The onus is clearly on the driver in front to dictate where he's going to place the car. The other driver in the battle has to decide whether he's going to bail out of the move or commit to it. Fortunately, there's runoff in order to save the car in that situation these days. But as you can see, there is still sand and gravel on this particular circuit, and it does catch the drivers out from time to time. Kirill Smal is driving beautifully. All that pressure, all of that tough racing to hold on to second place. And he is holding on very well indeed. Well, that wasn't really the racetrack there, Kirill. Car 62, track limits, first warning. That's Brad Benavides, who's now got past Sebastian Montoya. And that's a retirement for Matías Agazeta by the look of it. The Peruvian appears to be out of the race. A big shame. So Matías Agazeta, I'm afraid, is not going any further. Smal still holding on here in front of Josh Dufek. They're starting to get used to the changing conditions of the final corner now. But look at Taylor Barnard. See you later, alligator. I'm off. Just dominating out front. Here's Dufek going again for Smal. He's closer now than he has been for a while. Dufek goes right. That's where Kirill Smal places him, trying to squeeze him. To the middle of the road goes Smal. Dufek's only got one path, but can he edge past him? Villagomez might have a chance on both of them. Watch for Flusha as well. Dufek can't make it. Flusha around the outside. into fourth position. Dufek off the road, holds it round the outside, now diving in on the corkscrew, and Smell's got nowhere to go. They both drift off the road. Smell holds onto it. Flusha's going to get into third. No, he's not. He's going to get into second. He can't quite make the line on the inside. Oh, my goodness me. Flusha is all over his teammate as Villa Gomez runs off the road. Manages to get on just in front of Boyer. Kimi Antonelli is now wheel to wheel with Dufek. Where did Antonelli come from? Kimi Antonelli is suddenly in P5. Behind Boyer, we've got in for Fuvazak and Boyer. Montoya has dropped back, sadly. But Kimi Antonelli is not going to let Taylor Barnard dominate. He's going to score as many points as he can. That's how you win championships. Just keep pushing. Just keep finding those places. The cast of Falcons are sweeping their way back to the front. PHM are doing everything they can to hang on. They look pretty calm about Taylor Barnard. They're probably sweating cobs over Josh Dufek. Barnard leads. Small is second for now, then Flusha, then Dufek, then Antonelli. Oh, Dufek really struggling to slow the car down. They all are, look at it. And Dufek's run wide, that's enough for Antonelli. Bora's going to get Indra Fuvazak in the same breath. Indra Fuvazak's got a better run off the turn though. Antonelli's going to sweep in on Dufek. Dufek won't bail out easily. He's still got speed. Watch for Villa Gomez. Villa Gomez is going to have a chance now. Barnard's on his own. Smells comfortable in second, but it's 3 wide for fourth behind Flusha. Make that 4 wide. Boyer's trying to get in. Antonelli's going to try and hold it. Dufek round the outside of Villa Gomez. And Antonelli's got it. Up and over the curb comes Dufek, now battling wheel to wheel with Villa Gomez. Neither driver prepared to give an inch. They back wheels, and they managed to make it through. Dufek round the far side. That is getting your elbows out, as roughhouse as you like, but they keep it going. And now Dufek really runs the ragged edge. On the hairpin of the right-hander, Villa Gomez drives around him and picks up the pieces. Now Bora is side by side with Boyer. So Boyer holds on. Bora has to settle in. Dufek is having a nightmare. Look, he can't get the car pointed in a straight line. Dufek is having a nightmare in terms of grip. Car 13, track limits at turn 4, first warning. That is Joshua Dufek, but he's doing his best. The car is flailing around like a drunk dad at a wedding on roller skates. So Boyer trying to slice his way back in now on Josh Dufek. He can't get close enough. This is a really tough battle. Boyer is 7th, Bora is 8th, Indra Fuvazak is 9th in front of Montoya, and Michael Shin. Michael Shin, the Korean, is in 11th position. What a great run from the Prema driver. Excellent work. There is Michael Shin behind Montoya, as there are still drivers running the gauntlet and running wide. Benavides, Stenshorn and Megatunib all drifting wide. Now Antonelli is chasing his teammate Flusha. Flusha trying to break the toe. This is for 3rd position. Barnard's got smoke coming off his car. Barnard's got a problem by the look of it. Antonelli still trying to get past Flusha and not managing it. But Barnard's got some kind of smoke coming off his car. What's happening to Barnard? We need to keep an eye on that. Flusha and Antonelli just dropping their way through the corkscrew. This is not easy. There's no grip for anybody. But there was definitely some smoke coming off Barnard's car. I want to see that again down the back straight. Because that wasn't just the lockup. There was definitely some smoke. Now, whether that was steam or whether that was a problem of some kind for Barnard, whether that's a piece of bodywork rubbing against the tyre, whatever it might be, but there was definitely puffs of white smoke from Barnard's car before he even hit the brake pedal. For the moment, he's still going. Still, they are battling away, tooth and nail. Bora holding in front of Montoya and Michael Shin. And look, Barnard is losing time. He is dropping back into the clutches of Kidel Smal. Flusha and Antonelli are not far away. Is Barnard's fairy tale about to turn into a nightmare? He's lost a lot of time. He's had a very scruffy 2nd sector. I'm not sure Barnard is quite as comfortable in the lead as he was. 6 minutes to go. And look, he's struggling. Barnard's trying to hold on to this in the lead of the race, but Small is eating up the road. I think Barnard's got a problem with his front wing. Looks like the panel is out of position. It's slightly skewed, and that's really affecting his aero. Barnard is not safe in the lead at all. A very poor third sector, 45.7 compared to everybody else on 44 flats. He's really struggling. Look, there's more puffs of smoke coming from the car, and Smell's just going to drive around him. Smell will drive around him. Kiddo Smell retakes the lead from Barnard. What's going wrong for Taylor? Dominantly leading the race, and now look, he's got a flapping front wing section. Taylor Barnard is not going to dominate this race win after all. Goodness me. This is a very tricky situation. Wow. Taylor Barnard definitely with a problem of some kind. Let's have a look at it again, and you can see, look, there's smoke coming off the car before he even hits the brakes. So Small makes an easy job of it round the outside of Barnard in the end. Taylor Barnard's in trouble, big time. The win does not look likely now. In fact, Barnard is just hemorrhaging time. He's falling into the clutches of everybody. Oh, Taylor. And that's Antonelli behind him. That's his championship opposition. Antonelli is going to make mincemeat of Taylor Barnard the way this is currently going. Antonelli's going to get into second from 10th position. What an opportunity. No worries, Barnard is doing his best to defend from Antonelli, but to be honest, he's going to need a miracle. He locks up into the final turn. He's not going to get a decent run off the turn at all. Antonelli's going to have him into second. And Flusha and Villagomez are going to be on him like a bad habit. They'll get him before turn one. Flusha certainly will. And all of a sudden, Falcons are 1, 2 and 3, and Barnard is dropping like a stone. You really have to feel for Taylor Barnard. Was there contact in the first lap incident, I wonder? Did he have more damage than we first realised from that? Because now he's down to 6th behind his teammate Josh Dufek. Villagomez having another go at Flusha. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a Mumbai Falcons whitewash. 1, 2 and 3. Small, Antonelli and Flusha. But Taylor Barnard drops all the way to P6. You really have to feel for Taylor Barnard. He's trying his best to hang on, to score at least a point. But he has had nothing but bad luck all year. If you take into account that he didn't get any qualifying done at all in Dubai and ended up charging through from last to third. I could have won races there, he said. I could have done it. I could have won quite a few more here in Kuwait, but I've had no luck all season. And yet again here, a certain victory falls apart. And Taylor Barnard is just struggling to make it to the points now. But the Mumbai Falcons are 1, 2 and 3. Small, Antonelli and Flusha. Villagomez looking for a podium though in 4th place, and he looks very strong. Look at the gaggle of cars coming through in turn 19. Everybody trying their best to keep it on the road and keep it together. But the wind is still very strong. It's getting dustier. Into the final turn. Kirill Small looking good for the win. Antonelli looking good for second. Antonelli, whoa! Cars all over the shop in the final bend, and Montoya is creeping through to lead them. Montoya is going to lead into that 7th place battle. There goes into Fuvazak. Bora, and that's Michael Shin. Barnard falls behind them all. Now into Fuvazak going for Montoya. He's gone off the road in order to get alongside him. Montoya edging him out. Almost locking wheels. And watch round the outside of all of them. Nikhil Bora's going to get them all! Nikhil Bora, despite a little bit of a rub, gets through, takes them all on. Nikhil Bora, megastar move. And now Michael Shin is going to get past into Fuvazak. Michael Shin goes for the move. The Korean is suddenly emerging. I am just as good as anybody out here on this track. And Michael Shin dives through, takes the place. I tell you what, you need to keep an eye on this Korean. He's got massive talent. In behind Montoya now. And that puts him 9th. So Michael Shin looking for a couple of points. Finally, he gets the race he deserves. Barnard hasn't. He's still going backwards. There's Megatuniv. And there, look, Barnard has bailed. Game over, no points. So from Barnard's point of view, no points, no point. Got a feel for Taylor Barnard here. Cruel, cruel luck. Andrea Kimi Antonelli has dropped the gap between himself and Kirill Smal to 1.1 seconds with 2 laps to go. Antonelli's leading! Antonelli gets through on Smal. Was that tactical? Because Smal suddenly slowed, and Antonelli is back in the lead again. From 10th to 1st, Kimi Antonelli leads. How about that? Nobody this season has gone from 10th to 1st in a reverse grid race. It's usually a pole position challenge, and someone in the top 5 will get it. But Antonelli leads. Absolutely stunning. And now Smal can just be his protection in 2nd place. Kimi Antonelli is leading as Taylor Barnard comes into the pits to retire. A certain victory, all gone. But Andrea Kimi Antonelli is looking good for win number 2. What if he wins race 3 as well? Nobody has ever won in this category 3 races in one weekend. And I'm trying to remember the last time anybody went from 10th on the grid to 1st out here in the Middle East. I don't think it's ever been done. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is just rewriting what is possible in a Formula Regional car. It's really hard to begrudge him the championship now. If he can hold on to this, he's got one hand on the trophy already. Fair play to Lorenzo Fluscia though in 4th position. Despite losing a section of his front nose cone, he has kept this on the racetrack and kept it together. Car 63 track limits. Warning, black and white flag. That is Joshua Dirksen, the original pole position sitter from yesterday. He's had a nightmare since then, the Paraguayan. But the time has run down to 0. And look, Kirill Smal is trying to fend off from Rafael Villagomez. Everyone's struggling for tyres. Smal trying to keep Villagomez back. Last lap, Antonelli's got the win on a silver plate. But can Villagomez at least get 2nd? He's side by side with Smal. And he's through. Rafael Villagomez in a 2nd, but Smal's going to have the slipstream to get Villagomez back again. Villagomez will not be prepared to give it to him. Smal has to go off the road to get alongside. Behind them, we've also got Fluscia, Dufek and Boyer dueling for 4th place. That could turn into a podium. Smal gets back through on Villagomez, but he did have to run off the road to get there. Villagomez is coming back at him. Still they duel. They trip over the corkscrew, and Dufek is back into 4th position. A good run from the Swiss. Josh Dufek gets back through on Fluscia. And now the 2 Spaniards, Fluscia and Boyer, are left to fend for themselves, with Nicol Bora catching them rapidly. What a crazy race this is. But the man up front, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, he's like a hungry man who's just figured out how to get into the fridge. Once he has figured it out, you can't stop him. Last lap. And Antonelli is dancing to the victory. He's skipping his way home. What an amazing drive from the Italian stallion. He hops over the curbs. No one's catching him now. Hey, Kirill, the black stuff is the racetrack, mate. That's the black bit with the white lines either side, yeah? Kind of misses it on that particular apex. But up in front, an absolute hero. Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Who would have thought it? 10th on the grid, a winner yesterday. Who would have thought he could make it 2 from 2 today? Andrea Kimi Antonelli wins yet again. 2 out of 2 this week. From 10th on the grid in the reverse grid race to the win. Smal 2nd, Villagomez 3rd, Dufek 4th. That was the race of the season. Absolutely monstrous from Kimi Antonelli. A few laps ago, he didn't even look close to winning. He didn't even look like he had any chance at all. Don't doubt Kimi Antonelli for an instant. What a superb performance. How do you describe that? What words can you find that do that justice? Bellissimo, fantastici. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, vincitore. Wonderful drive, flawless. You've got to feel sorry for Aidan Neate. You've got to feel sorry for Josh Dufek. You've got to feel sorry for Taylor Barnard. But I tell you what, Andrea Kimi Antonelli is already one hand on this championship trophy. From 10th to 1st. What a hero. As Barry Bray rightly puts it, there's just no stopping him. Kirill Smal, what a drive to second position. A great job in his second ever race in a Formula Regional car. Rafael Villagomez, third position. What a drive from the Mexican. He had so much pressure, so many chances to throw it away, but he stood firm. He fought his corner. He dropped out of the podium and got him straight back into position again. Well done to Rafael Villagomez. And I'm fairly sure that's the first Mexican podium in Formula Regional Middle East this year. Josh Dufek, Lorenzo Flusha, Mari Boya, all missing out on the podium, all deserved to be there. Nikhil Bora 7th, Sebastian Montoya in 8th. What a drive from Michael Shin. Don't forget, this is only his second season in any form of motorsport, never mind in cars. Michael Shin never did karting in his youth. He just jumped straight into an F4 and hoped to do well. And here he is in 9th position up against drivers who've been racing a decade longer than him. If your first win felt good, this one feels even better. 10th on the grid to the win. Now that is how it's done. Toto Wolff, pay attention. This is your next big superstar. I think he already knows it by now, though. Moit Tungakar embraces his young charge. 2 wins in a row. Grande indeed. What a performance. Andrea Kimi Antonelli wins by 4.3 seconds from 10th on the grid. Kirill Smal 2nd from Rafael Villagomez and Joshua Dufek. Lorenzo Flusha P5, Mari Boya in P6 from Nikhil Bora, Sebastian Montoya, Michael Shin in a brilliant 9th place, and Taz in the Vivazak steals the final point. Brad Benavides is 11th in front of Martini Estenshorn, Sami Megatuniv and Leventa Revej from Luke Browning, Joshua Dirksen, Aidan Neate recovering to 17th, bitterly disappointing for him. Giovanni Mascio, Ayato Iwasaki and Dan Mavlyutov in front of Niels Kuhnen, Wang Shongwei, Han Shenyu, and then we had the retirements. Taylor Barnard, bitter, cruel luck for him. Zagaseta, Bedrin and Kamara. Down in the pits, Feline has found Kimi.
Hey Kimi, congratulations! Brilliant race, we just love it. And tell us how you made it history, like started from P10 and finished P1.
Was kind of a crazy race. Track condition was really difficult. The track was really green and very slippery. The start was not amazing. I lost immediately to the position. Then into 2 I had to avoid the crash and I lost even more places. But yeah, at the end the pace was good and we managed to win.
Congratulations! 那刚刚我问到 Kimi 呢，他是从第10位起步，然后最后呢拿到了冠军。他说刚刚他起步的时候呢，其实并没有很好，他甚至掉了2个位置。后来呢，又为了躲这些事故车呢，也是丧失一些位置。不过呢，在比赛重启之后呢，他拿到了机会，然后最后一直冲往拿到了第1位。Back to you guys.
I'm not sure you could put one hand on your heart and say that was the greatest Formula Regional race of all time, but it's definitely up there, isn't it? What a brilliant battle. Let's look back over the best bits from a stunning race here in Kuwait. I'm not sure many people would have expected such an exciting nail-biter from the get-go. Kirill Smal in pole position and 5 drivers behind him on the grid who had never won a race in Formula Regional in the Middle East. Lots of expectation, lots of opportunity. 5 wide into turn 2 was always going to end in tears. So unfortunate for Neate, Bedrin and Kamara. Their race chances up in smoke in seconds. Taylor Barnard managed to emerge as a contender for the win, battling away with Dufek and Kirill Smal. It was a fabulous duel between them all, but Taylor Barnard took quite a while to get into the lead. Once he got there, though, he started pulling away as Antonelli picked them off one by one. Dueling away with gusto and determination, Dufek and Villagomez really putting their skates on and going for the podium. But Taylor Barnard hit trouble. Some kind of mechanical issue with the car as Kirill Smal took the lead back. Bitter disappointment for Barnard as he would just keep sliding down the field and out of the points. Great dueling between Bora, Intrafuvazak, Montoya and Shin. They gave us plenty of entertainment and all four of them end up in the points. Kirill Smal did his best to fend off from Rafael Villagomez in the closing stages, but he handed the lead back to Antonelli in great style. And Kimi Antonelli does the unthinkable. 10th on the grid, charging through to the win, his second in a row and his second of the year. He extends the championship yet further, and the Italian stallion is on the march to the title. How many years do we think it's going to be before this boy is headline news across every world newspaper? Isn't going to be long, is it? Not in the grand scheme of things. Now, interestingly, it might not be over yet, because car 12 is under investigation for constantly abusing track limits, according to the timing screen. That is Andrea Kimi Antonelli. So that could be not quite finished yet. Certainly for the moment, we're going to let him have his moment in the sunshine for a second win in a row. But Andrea Kimi Antonelli has driven beautifully, perhaps traversing the track limits just a little bit too much. But what a race, what a spectacle, and what an amazing duel it gave us. And this is going to be a very happy podium as well. Two new faces will be on it. A great performance from Rafael Villagomez. The Mexican has got himself on the podium after a brilliant drive. Kirill Smal somehow held on to second place throughout. For the second race in a row, Andrea Kimi Antonelli drives to the win. He's on the top spot, charging through from P10 on the grid. And if he holds on to it, then he's got a massive championship advantage. Great performances from Rafael Villagomez and from Kirill Smal to get their first podiums of the year. But Kimi is looking invincible now. Another rookie win, another overall race win, his second of the week. There's one more race to come this afternoon, and who knows, he could even make it a hat-trick. It's unthinkable, it's impossible. Is it? Not if you're Andrea Kimi Antonelli, it's not. A fabulous showcase, a brilliant battle here at Kuwait Motor Town. The second race of 3 this week. And now we're going to enjoy a third race this afternoon. And what a battle it could give us. Who's going to be the champion? It's certainly looking like the Italian stallion for now. Jake Sanson here, enjoying the action. Join us again later for race 3.